date is January 16, 2025. You need to thank God that you're alive. And if you tune into Reggae Global Radio, what's happening? If you tune into the Coda Network, the AKA the Caribbean sensation, the saving grace for entertainment, because ain't nothing else happening without Coda. If you're streaming without Coda, you ain't really streaming. You a knockoff. I said it. Anyway, and for those of you on YouTube, I just want to say big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up to everybody. We are having a very, 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 very interesting conversation. I hope that people are hearing me. I hope that there's no glitches. Love you too. Love you too. Blessings and shout out to Verna Graham. Big up Foxy. I see you. Happy do it. Big up, big up, big up. All the people on TikTok, you know what your duty is. Tap up the screen, share the live, stick with me if you're feeling the vibe. And there we go, K Reed. I love you too. Country Gal 84, Angela Beckford, Donna Thomas, Realtor, Jacqueline Bacchus. I just want to say thanks for joining Context Matters. So let me tell you, sometimes I don't know where to start. Well, I can start by saying this. Today, I received an email from a very prominent attorney. I don't need to say names, but he did the most selfless act ever. We did a case called the Z Virgo against the Kensington Primary School. Now, I want you to appreciate that this case, it's a seminal case in the Caribbean. It answered a lot of questions. What basically happened was the Supreme Court of Jamaica just completely got it wrong in terms of the wearing of dreadlocks in schools in Jamaica. The court says, listen, here is a form of freedom of expression, and children do have the constitutional right to express an idea. The idea must be meaningful. It cannot just be meaningless and fanciful. But Tinker Bell in the United States, a very, very important case from time immemorial. So sometimes we catch up with the law, or sometimes we miss it altogether. What I will say is I'm shocked at the beginning of 2025 that there are educators across Jamaica that would deprive children of learning just because they have some fixation. Either they're caught in the phallic stage or they have some anal fixation to prevent kids from becoming the best versions of themselves. Whichever it is, Sigmund Freud is the best person to answer. But in 2025, no school should be sending a child home because of hair. In fact, first world countries, America, England, have set the bar so high by passing legislation all across their country to ensure that children aren't deprived of an education because of their, and I'm going to say it, no apology, African identity. Imagine living in the Caribbean where there are still persons with the same color of your skin that finds it repulsive that you would grow your hair. They still in 2025 find dreadlocks to be offensive, unless of course you're a reggae artist making a whole lot of money, and probably if your last name is Marley, all is well. But in the same breath, if you take up yourself and decide that you want to be an executive, there might be somebody that says, to proper grooming would suggest that you would cut your hair and not look kept and looking uncouth or whatever. I'm trying to find all of these fanciful words for people to articulate or to express myself, to find to let people have an understand. Catherine Daly, big up yourself. The total disappointment and disgust I feel every time a child is sent home because of a hairstyle problem, and the justification, especially when the Constitution affords access to education, especially when the Constitution of Jamaica um, protects freedom of expression, is that the school, usually uh, a school that's not doing well on the academic scale, it's never a traditional high school because the traditional high schools get it. So let's single out the misfits, the persons with educators who are going against the grain and who are preventing students from learning because they have personal beliefs and they like to enforce archaic rules at a time when the government is saying we should become a republic. We should rid ourselves of the Eurocentric shackles and the colonial the the colonial discrimination and disrespect for Afro identity. So if you're in 2025 and somehow you think that the only way a female can be beautiful is if her hair is cream, so that she looks like Barbie, and some will have these wigs with the Brazilian hair, walking up and down with horse hair all over them, and thinking that that's what makes them look good. Something is wrong with you. And if you think men should shave their faces and look like the back of a baby's derriere and that's it. Especially some of them shave the whole of them face and them nose big and them look like a real patu. But anyway, that's not my business. If that's your concept of grooming, they say it's relaxer, it's not cream. Whether it want to be Revlon, wherever it want to be, the thing will straighten your hair. Or if you want to use a hot press comb or or get one of them wig there and put it on and behave like you're smarty because you have on the white people here. Kudos to you. What I'm saying is, even then, what we should focus on is what's inside the brain. Um, the irony is, as an educated black man with a profession, a traditional profession that had the freedom to be himself and in keeping with my identity, regardless of what anybody feel, which makes me confident, which makes those persons who are suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome, from the genetic transference of the slave experience, would find it repulsive that you are allowed to not you are allowed to traverse the halls of justice with your face full of hair and how unkept you look and unprofessional. Well, I'm here to say it is the brilliance that is the measure of the man. It is the intellectual capacity and aptitude that is the measure of a man. It is the hallmark of masculinity to be intelligent. It is the hallmark of masculinity to exude confidence without being a beast. And so, what are we teaching our children? What are we teaching our children? Well, it seems to me that even if you can't read and write, and a principal in the name of getting a salary, which is a bit more fanciful than what the teachers get, albeit all of them underpaid, they are more fixated. Some of them, for instance, the principal of Kensington Primary School, she had a complete brain flatulation that caused her to pick on one of the most beautiful um, daughters of Jamaica, who is now, from this experience, given a scholarship from the Marcus Garvey Foundation and did well in prep school and is now at the Campion College, the Campion College. And so she's getting first class education in Jamaica, and while wearing her dreadlocks and keeping her identity, which the principal tried to rub out. So she could not feel beautiful and identify with her family. These are conversations that when we put it into context, we have a little more idea of how important it is for children to find their identity. So you see a young man, he has braces. I don't know his name. He's wearing braces and he has an afro. The afro that he's wearing is identical to one of our prime ministers, the Honorable PJ Patterson. Brilliant man. One of the longest serving prime minister to date. And if Black Pride was a person, wouldn't you want your sons and daughters to strive to also be a prime minister with black skin? Or are we still fixated with mongrellism? Back in the days, it was mongrel, if you don't know what I'm talking about, are those persons who were blessed to have the slave masters impregnate their ancestors and they became mulattoes. And somehow that is the standard of beauty. Well, I say to you, be proud, black people, in your blackness. In fact, the heights of my bad mind is the failure of not being born with the blackest skin. Like three of my siblings who did not know that their dark skin made them so much more superior, in my mind at least, and made them more authentic in terms of black identity. But these are conversations, and put it in context. It's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but love thyself. And a part of if we ever going to fight crime and curb crime, we have to get people to start loving themselves, be proud of the skin that they're in. So much so that when it is that our brothers and sisters find themselves bleaching, um, that is a problem. It is a problem. I got in trouble some years ago when I said, "Why are people worried about monkeypox when they're well, Anyway, we're not gonna go back again. You're bleaching and then you get these lesions on your skin and somehow you find that to be cute. But anyway, listen, don't take this out of context. I'm giving my brothers and sisters the confidence to love thyself. Those who are we are out of many one. I'm not picking on the mulattoes. I'm not picking on the you know many shades of blackness and how whatever complexions are all beauty. Find the beauty in your skin, but most importantly, finding your identity. And say somebody is saying is misguided because in the reverse, if a white person is finding their identity as a Jamaican by speaking patois, by being themselves, by embracing reggae, by embracing dancehall, there's nothing wrong with that. And so the crux of the crux of this conversation, I'm putting it into context, is to say, listen, just like how white people had a problem with Black Lives Matters, and we're not saying that all lives don't matter. All lives matters. White, Chinese, you name it, all lives matters. But when black people say Black Lives Matters, it is a marker or an identifier to remind black people and all around that Black Lives Matter, like all lives, include it in all lives. So when people are suffering from an identity crisis in a Eurocentric world, and the standard of beauty is European beauty, of course, there has to be a targeted message for those who don't fall into that category. So when somebody says, "Oh, Empress, you're pretty for a black girl, you know. It's the heights of disrespect. So when a teacher looks on a young man who is proud to wear his afro, yeah, if it's not comb, you tell him to comb it, and if it's dirty, you tell him to wash it. But you don't say go cut it off, and you don't have a place in a school because your hair not cut down like a military, as if militants and discipline, the marker of discipline is to shave your head and go into the army. Like there's no other way to educate people to elevate themselves. An intelligent person simply has to be learned in the traditional subjects and read widely. And it has nothing to do with you with the way your hair is. And grooming, why context matters, is about more about hygiene and more than and as well as proper deportment, I would think. So one should always find that. So, see, the grooming is the practice of brushing and cleaning the coat of a horse, dog, or other animal. Regular grooming is essential to the well-being of your dog. The practice of preparing or training someone for a particular purpose or activity. These are definitions, right? Allen was expected to need a lot of grooming before he was ready to take over. So, when a school has a grooming policy, the aspect of grooming is you want the children to show up early. You want them to have on clean uniform. And yeah, I get the thing about the tight skirt, tight pants, gun foot mouth, and all of these things. That's all about grooming and where the rules should apply. But the nine ether here like mine that so many people envy me for, because a lot of people can't grow them here like this. It take a lot of nine ether and proper nutrition to get it here for nice like this. Your genetics are for good, you know. So you can't be a peeler drunk and expect to get here like mine. So it's usually a bad mind somebody that can't grow them here always want people to cut them here. I'm telling you that. I don't, and people can be upset if them want. And I'm speaking the truth. It's not ad hominem, but it's and I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just simply saying that it takes a lot. And then yeah, somebody will say, yeah, your hair grow because you mix up like a mongrel, or I'm not exactly a mulatto because both my parents are at some point black, mostly black. Big Youth have some answering to do with his German white ancestors, whatever. But the point I'm saying is mostly black. Um, and so we cannot place young people under that type of oppression. And let me just say this right here and then. Immaculate High School, excellent school, brings out the brightest and oftentimes the most groomed, most disciplined females that walk Jamaica to date. One of the traditional high schools. For whatever reason, a teacher allegedly was up there having sex with multiple young women. What we should be protecting at all material times are our kids. Shouldn't be sending them home. We shouldn't prevent them from learning. We should be more concerned with the teachers and the educators who are prone to abuse children. We should stop for a second as a parent and say, but if you pick on my child and want to send my child home, the child is probably causing the adult to suffer from some deficiency. I could be wrong, you know. But like I said, traditional high schools generally don't suffer from identity issues. And the traditional high schools are the ones that fill up the tertiary education because the people were allowed to have proper the identity experience. And the irony is they said they're preparing you for that, but what these schools are preparing you for is to go work as a security guard, is to go work as a cash register, in one of the traditional wealthy families supermarket. That's what they're preparing you for. Because the minute you get to tertiary institution, this is how you walk in at the people them class and them can't do you nothing after you pay $1 million. You say so in your shorts and your sweater like this and you go teach and you have on your slippers and you sit down and you stay so with your MacBook and your iPad and you're doing everything you want. And you twist up your hair if you want. And they think that the lecturers don't care. The lecturers want you to learn and to bring the best when it comes to the exam, so you do well and then you become. For me, I can only speak of the University of the West Indies, the best university in Jamaica and across the entire Caribbean, to be educated. So if you are engaged in learning at the level of a first class honors, you're going to be studying and you're going to be twisting your hair, and your hair is the antenna that connects it to the universe. It is the Wi-Fi. Yeah, it is the Bluetooth. It is everything that makes you greater. It is everything that prevents you from being a dunce spot. What I did observe is that young man, and kudos to his parents, is a very intelligent young man. And if you see him on TikTok and he's being bad, he is exercising his imagination and his individuality, which must be he must have a space. What is in your head is more important than what's on your head. That is true. But what also that is true. That's a perfect response to educators who are worried about what is on their head. I won't try to defend parents who break the uniform rule. Save and accept to save. Them say the long skirt is going to protect the child. I believe, because the Ministry of Education has failed to properly assess teachers who are pedophiles, who constantly feed off of minors and bring their sexual deficiencies and inadequacies and their sexual deviant behavior to young children who are impressionable. So yeah, if a principal said wear your uniform down to your ankle, I agree. Yeah, but when it comes to the here, when it comes to freedom of expression through a hearing here and there, maybe the nose ring is excessive, take it out. But braces, when I wore braces in high school as a little nerd, braces got nice because I could change the color of the bands. And it became cool because I also had a watch and I could change the band and it could match my trapper keeper, it could match my shoelaces, it could match, and I was fly with my ugly ass teeth before I became a fly you, a sexy you. You know what I'm saying? Girls all over the world want to up me. You know what I'm saying? It's the life of a city boy. But anyway, yeah, before all of that took place, um, finding ways to express your identity within the rules. That is what this hairstyle debacle is about. Now, the ministry, the current minister of educator, very good advocate. She can chat and she can spin. Love it. But we ought to address it because we dealt with this in the Virgo case, where the whole country was embarrassed for mistreating young Virgo. So we know that when it comes to hairstyle, and when we know that when it comes to the freedom of expression through the hairstyles and stuff, what we are to do. Now, rules are rules, and yeah, this thing, maybe what it is that we are in a modern dispensation, and the rules as they were archaic rules which were there to suppress black identity should definitely be revisited. And principals who send home kids and educators who send home kids for hairstyles should be removed. They shouldn't have a salary. It's child abuse. It's child abuse. They should be investigated for pedophile tendencies. I'm taking it that high. And we ought to rethink, because the Child Care Protection Act mandates us to protect our children from child abuse. And any mental oppression that comes to children should be seen as child abuse. And you forfeit your right to government money when you come with your backward old. You can't even use an iPhone. You probably don't even have an iPhone or a hype phone. You probably don't even know what an iPad is. You're not even in the technological age, and you're talking about banner your yard because you're dep on TikTok. Well, guess what? Note to self: lawyers are on TikTok. The most influential people are on TikTok. You have young white girls that make salaries you will never dream of because they're on TikTok and OnlyFans, doing nothing but being beautiful. And if anybody know who Ali is, she's currently the princess, the royalty of TikTok, TikTonia, as she calls it. And that's creativity, and they find themselves as influencers. Why would you want to prevent somebody from getting a lion that is probably the entire your entire salary for the month? Why are you stopping? Why would you be so bad mind because you are not in keeping with the time, and then you use those things as a means? And so somebody said, we're still dealing with these nonsense. The kid's haircut was all right. Yeah, but not only that. And in a class yesterday, social work, met a young lady who is a teacher, and she says when faced with that, she would tell the child to comb his hair, and lo and behold, it starts to comb his hair, and the hair dirty, and she invites them to go home and go wash your hair. Argument done. But also, we should also consider whether or not the object and purpose of the expression. A child may be having his afro or her natural hair, and she shows up 1 month straight not combing the hair. It may be an indicator that there is something fundamentally wrong in the community or the home. And as educators and as persons who are responsible for raising our youth, may need to intervene. I just think that we get the wrong message every time, and we're too judgmental. So, principals, educators, we listen and we don't judge. That's what we should do in 2025. We should facilitate in order to educate. I would much rather have a conversation with the educators on how these kids can get tablets, so that when you want to send them home, they still can connect you. If a principal said, me don't like how you look today, go on your yard and sign up, go on Zoom, and make your mother go comb your hair and make her call me. Unacceptable. That's a different conversation than locking somebody out of school and depriving them of education. And this, the response always from the vavavoums, the creme de la creme of society. And I'm wondering these days if it's even fair to blame them, because as I said, you go to Hillel, that's not happening. You go to Campion, it's not happening. You go to JC, it's not happening. Calabar, it's not happening. I can call out all the traditional high schools. Meadowbrook High School, it's definitely not happening. Yeah? So, see, cause versus cause said the children want to bring foreign behavior in our schools. Then hold on. The government now import foreign ice. No foreign that them a bring Amazon no there. I see the other day the opposition, the Gen Sec say we're gonna import, or we're gonna put increased taxes on goods, and everybody was in a frenzy because only love foreign states of emergencies and all of these hype things that's going on. When the prime minister and his cronies says we're increasing the salaries for politicians, now match them, did I match the foreign? So what if the picnic them want bring foreign the school them? Want to foreign, everybody no want visa, and all who no have it, I do everything. All are going like them. All who want to go foreign and want visa will not be themselves and sell them soul for it. And the reality of it is education is the great divider. if you are educated to the level like the Chinese and the Indians, there is a whole visa class for you. Even the great Donald Trump will make provisions to ensure that special skills are automatically allowed in countries all over the world. We have Jamaicans talking about the workforce, they're not a skill, they're not a hegemonication. We have to import workers because we can't hire the right people. That's foreign. So when the government wants to bring foreign workers, it's because you're not telling them, you're not telling the students, stop bringing foreign, come to the school. Go and read your Bible, pray every day, and you will grow, grow, grow. While the Japanese and the Chinese talking about this is the technology that you need to get to Mars. And every now and then you have some phenomenal African child who finds the cure or the solution for the lack of water. I might add there's no water in Portland and the MP is selling it, but that's another thing. Let me leave that alone because somebody on the comments might say, you're trying to bring water into Portland, is what's wrong with you? You're bringing foreign, is only foreign water running pipe. So let me tell you, let us not ever forget that even our children, our modern day children, are way more advanced than us. I would know. I'm giving out the tablets, and 3-4-year-olds are finding YouTubes, logging on to Wi-Fi's by themselves and navigating the tablets. Hence, the pains to teach some of these parents and grandparents parental control and everything necessary to navigate technology to do what we're talking, that what the school is supposed to be doing. So that is just the intro to the conversation, because you think badgering and abusing and disenfranchising children because you want them to have a hairstyle that you mandate is going to prevent what now is corruption. You don't see all the people being accused of corruption, them hair cut nice and them in a suit, accused of corruption, and them don't have no hair on them face and them have 28 bank accounts. So what is it? Do you have a problem with a young black man having hair like the former Prime Minister PJ Patterson of Jamaica, or you want him hair cut nice and him nose big, no hair on him face, and he's accused of corruption and is exercising his rights to do away with the Integrity Commission? Or you want him to be the Minister of Justice and have a nice clean suit, property big like Taj Mahal, and and then say, my fellow politicians, don't tell the Integrity Commission how much money your wife and your spouse make and your husband make, because them too enough. We can't free to do what we want. Is that what we want? Is that what we're raising? Or should we just make sure that children don't become educated so the population of people who vote are dependent voters and remain done, so that your friends can continue to not give you the salaries that you deserve as educators? We have to think on these things, Yeah? Because do we want our children to become the best versions of themselves, or do we want them to become corruptionists and scammers and everything that is bad? So that's a matter for you. But that is the context in which we will have discussion today. Now, at the top of it, I'm going to invite my guest tonight because big things happening this weekend. I'm constrained to say Queen Ifrica is included in that. But yeah, everybody, you gotta love Queen Ifrica. She burn fire till the whole of California burned down. So you know that go already. But yeah. Anyway, she see me, she gonna hug me up. She not gonna beat me, even though she thinks I'm the devil. But let me just kick off the show officially. As you know,
it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say, life much better, you live it your own way.
Politically incorrect.
Yeah, let me leave that alone. So for those of you on YouTube, no, yeah, it was muted. We are with Lexi Chow. She is the Coda boss. She's here. Well, you're gonna tell us why you're here, but if you guys always hear me talk about Lexi, there are two Lexis in my life. So you have Lexi the attorney, and you have Lexi the Coda boss. Um, so context matters also streams on Coda with the flag rerun on Fridays, but it's live with the flagship station Reggae Global Radio. But Coda Network, I need to tell you about Coda Network. Um, Coda Network is just the most uptown creme de la creme Caribbean platform. I mean, imagine you're streaming and then you get to rewatch. You would have to watch long story short. You can watch it on Coda where I told a story there, and the quality of the presentation and the ability to have Caribbean content at your fingertips. That's Coda Network. So for those of you who was wondering why, like if you want a show that's classy and not ghetto and proper streaming without it timing out and all of those things, you have to get with the Coda Network. You don't believe me? Just watch Rebel Salute. Hey, don't make Queen Eye Freak mess up this thing. Anyway, go ahead. Talk to me.
I don't know what's going on.
I love Queen Eye Freak. Daddy, don't touch me there. I'm gonna tell on you. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm not into your politics.
I love her.
Big up Queen Eye Freak. I've never seen her perform in person and live, but thank you guys for welcoming me here today. Coda Network does produce the Context Matters show on Coda and Reggae Global Radio. Big up to everybody listening right now. But I'm in town from Los Angeles, and we're going to be live streaming Rebel Salute. So it's my first Rebel Salute. And I'm really excited about it because I have never seen Tony Rebel, Luciano. Who's that?
You good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Is that Duppy?
Hey.
You keep looking over there. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, just making sure you don't take the Wi-Fi from the cameraman. Hey. You're good. Go ahead.
You guys don't know what's going on. There's like some noise going on over there.
It's okay, look. Oh, they want to see you. So let me go. Go ahead, right.
Yeah, so it's my first Rebel Salute, so I'm really excited seeing these iconic reggae dancehall figures, especially, she said Duffy, just like Tony Rebel, Maxi Priest is performing. When was the last time Maxi Priest performed in Jamaica?
So let me know. Is that better now?
Test. Is that better, guys?
Yeah. Okay, good.
All right, so when was the last time Maxi Priest performed in Jamaica? Because as a kid, I loved Maxi Priest.
Well, half of the world is like, who's Maxi Priest? Especially since Skip Marley did a cover of his song. Yeah. I just wanna be close to you. Yeah, that one. But yeah, Maxi Priest is the bomb.
Yeah, I don't think you should make over classics like Maxi Priest.
It was good though.
Really? I didn't hear it. Did anybody hear that the remake?
Yeah. Maybe they skipped it, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna be live streaming it on Coda. We're in 178 countries, and you can download it for free, and you can watch Context Matters every Thursday on Coda Network. But it is a pay-per-view event for Rebel Salute. It's $24.99. We make it affordable for everybody, and we'll be live streaming for 12 hours live from Plantation Cove. So I encourage everybody to, log on, and you can watch movies and documentaries, anything about Caribbean culture. Coda is Caribbean on demand, all in one place. And the reason why this was created is because Hollywood doesn't see us. We're not in the conversations. We're not included in those conversations for the Black diaspora. It's always for the Latin America. So what they do is they push out content, but they don't include the Caribbean. We're not even considered. If anything goes out, it's all lump summed into Latin America. And what I've been pushing for the longest, my agenda is that Caribbean, we have our own culture. We're West Indian. We're not Black American. We're not South American. We are Caribbean, and we have our own culture. And that's the voice of Coda. And that's why it's very important to me. And I'm very passionate about, just creating content and, amplifying the voices of Black Caribbean, Indo-Caribbean, Asian Caribbean, with all about.
I like that. So what I will say though is there something in the future for actually making probably like a sitcom?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're looking into, talking to different filmmakers and television writers into different sitcoms and movies and things of that nature. So, reach out to me. We're looking for script writers. We're looking for people that want to get into, the writer's room and help develop some things. So, and it doesn't have to be, when you think of Caribbean, you think of like shatas and bad boy and drugs and this and bang, bang, shoot 'em up. We want to hear some, we want to see diverse content out of the Caribbean, real stories, everyday life, not the gunman, not the drug man.
But you see, but I was just a while ago when you see it, the only thing I remember, like when I think of Jamaica, and I think of his name is Paul. What's his name?
Paul Campbell.
Paul Campbell.
Yeah.
Yo, walk and live, talk and bomb German beer dead. Yeah.
But you know what? He rings synonymous for a lot of the actors. So big up Paul Campbell. But me working in Hollywood, and when they go after American actors to mimic and portray Jamaican, it to me it's a mockery because the accent sounds terrible. Why would you hire a Spanish, a non-speaking Spanish person, and they can't even mimic or mock the Spanish person correctly? You have to speak Spanish properly to play those roles. So why not hire a Jamaican or a real Caribbean person to embody that role? To me, it's.
But then let me ask you this question though. What of the descendants? Like the Bob Marley movie, majority of the persons were from England. Shout out to
Ben Kingsley, a dear.
See,
he's Trinidadian.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Trinity guy.
No, I was referring to the guy from the root. What's his name? Nomads.
Oh, who is that?
No, the group Nomads. He's making his thing now because he landed a big role in a British a British series. But we have Jamaican actors, but a lot of them are British based.
But the thing is, the British-based actors have a certain training, so that's what Hollywood is looking for. Whereas a lot of the Jamaican or the Caribbean-based actors don't have access to those resources. Where it's a certain style of acting. So sometimes you might be watching a Jamaican or a Trinidadian film, and the acting can be so bad, but we can't run them out. It's just they don't have access to the technique and style of acting. So that's another thing that Coda Network wants to bring. We want to bring workshops and bring actors. And my girlfriend, Sandra Oakley, who was in Bob Marley, she does have a workshop called Inside Hollywood, Inside Hollywood, the Business of Acting. And she comes here every month and she teaches, and she brings celebrities from Hollywood, agents, and they teach, folks out here, the ins and outs.
So the thing about, here, I'm keeping in tune with education is a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm singling out Tupac now, but Tupac and Jada went to one of the most expensive schools.
Howard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when it came to acting and everything, so people see him talking about thug life. You don't even know if he's acting or if it's the real thing, because these are trained and they grew up like that. So the closest thing to the type of, again, is a matter of education. We have students being sent home and not honing the skills for language, literature, just being well-rounded, even understanding culture through civics. So when you ask people, do you know who King Yellowman is? Young people don't know Yellowman.
Right.
You just said about Maxi Priest. People is like, who is Maxi Priest?
Yeah.
So there is no continuity. There's no no true understanding of the culture.
Right.
People don't even know that hip hop culture came from dancehall.
Yeah.
The founders of hip hop are the
Cool.
Toastmasters, but the Toastmasters of from Jamaican heritage. And when you say cool word, but they have Jamaican heritage.
Yes.
So how is it that you think you can bridge the gap, or what is it that I know Coda is facilitating because, but what would you say to the public, especially we're in the modern world. I've seen other persons try to stream, and I've seen it. I've seen it just be botched.
Yeah.
I've seen millions wasted because they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
What is it that? What is your hope for the Jamaican market and the Caribbean market on a larger scale?
On a larger scale, the way I see it is as a BET of the Caribbean, as a Netflix of the Caribbean. We want to give you guys premier content, and as far as just being gatekeepers and archiving a lot of that reggae and dancehall, we also have a vault. So the vault has like stuff from the Biltmore Ballroom era, reggae splash, documentaries with King Jammies. We're also partners with VP Records, so we get a lot of content from them.
Right.
So all of these things that are getting lost into translation, because now when you go to YouTube, you type in Jamaica reggae dancehall, you see a whole mishmash of trap dancehall and twerking and all this stuff that really doesn't have anything to do with the foundation of reggae. But what Coda does is we archive a lot of that stuff. And, remember back in the day, you would have all these video mans, big up to Keeling Records, who also partners with us and gives us a lot of content and variety where we can archive this stuff. And you can go back and see what was going on in 1975 at the National Arena with Admiral Bailey and Robert Lee and Tippa, what's his name?
Tibatum.
Yeah, you guys correct me. I know my stuff. And you can find your Yellow Man on there. And I think it's sad. And even in America, I was playing Biggie Smalls, Notorious Big, in my car, and this Mexican he was like, "Hey, what is that? That sounds so cool." I was like, "That's Biggie Smalls." I was like, "Get out of here, chump." I was like,
"Oh yeah," they didn't know. Diddy, aka Baby Oil Man, was going in the vault. Anyway, let me leave that. Christopher Campbell, Ishmael is looking for you, but Christopher Campbell has asked if you're open to investments. What's your response to that?
We're open to everything. As long as it makes sense, and for the diaspora, my thing is really about working with people and aligning with people that are passionate about the diaspora, not trying to sell it, not trying to sell it to a white man or to sell it to a big corporation, but it has to stay Caribbean because it will get lost in translation. BET got sold to Viacom, and Viacom, BET is not as popping in the Caribbean as it used to be, because there isn't that content that resonates with us.
Yeah, like what's her name, man? Rachel.
I love
Caribbean
Rachel.
Rhythm. Yeah, they don't know about that. I'm just found the other day. Even I see they're trying to resurrect 106 and Park. I don't know how they'll be able to do that.
That would be kind of cool to have a Jamaican
106 and Park.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something I'm interested in doing too. Don't keep my ideas.
No, the problem is Chronic Law is gonna be like from 1 to 10. So once you start doing the countdown, like welcome to Jamaica 6 and Park. The number 10 video is Chronic Law. And everybody like, yay! Boop, 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 boop. And we're back from the break, and the number 9 video is Chronic Law. Boop, boop, boop. 10 songs. Chronic Law is the man right now. No. But let me mind my business.
Yeah, I want to see, 1975, correct, Admiral Bailey. And I think it was really cool because, that actual video that we have shows the beginning of like dancehall, and just Stone Love was there, and Redman, and he had all these big chains before Mr. T. He had Redman, and he had all these big gold chains and all the rings, and I thought that was really cool. And when people say that hip hop never derived from reggae or dancehall, a lot of our style went into hip hop. Look at Little Kim, look at Saweetie, look at all these women, Salt and Pepper. A lot of the dancehall queen style came from dancehall, and it got picked up by hip hop. And you got to realize that even Salt and Pepper, one of them was Jamaican.
Oh, so, Spanish Town.
Yeah, our culture spread far and wide.
The hurtful thing is that as we're talking about Salt and Pepper, this generation don't know who Salt and Pepper is unless them go in the restaurant. Big up Ziggy's. Push it real good. Anyway, what's your favorite Maxi Priest song?
Oh, there's a spirit in my heart. There's something waiting for you, and I'll kill you guys because I can't sing.
That Maxi Priest never said that, but obviously.
Oh no! House Call with Shabara.
Oh, I was gonna say that. Do the Maxi Priest part. Let me see if you don't know it.
I'm gonna chop up the song.
No, all you have to say is Maxi Priest and Shabba. Okay. Yeah, you go.
Maxi Priest and Shabba.
Anyway. Your body can lie to me, cause I know that you read. Anyway, yeah.
We can't be together. We're two clowns.
But yeah, that's really so wherever Shabba is, I hope he shows up for Rebel Salute so that when you stream it and it's archived on Coda, people can see what a performer is.
Right.
When you're so good at what you do, Marlon Wayans and the Wayans brother have to do a parody of you, Mr.
Shabba.
Mr.
Shabba.
All right. Anyway. Yeah. So when is Rebel Salute? Just help me out with that.
It is Saturday, January 18th at Plantation Cove, and we will be streaming at 7 p.m. till the next day for 12 hours till 7 a.m.
All right, there you have it. So, people, shout out to Tony Rebel, though. Yeah, go ahead.
What I find interesting is that they're going to have a dancehall artist, Valiant, this year. So isn't it just supposed to be all culture artists, but then you have this one dancehall artist that sticks out? How does that work?
I mean, listen, anywhere Valiant go, he deserves to be. Come on, Valiant took his car and knocked the health minister off his bike. Valiant, you can go anywhere you want, sir. Catch your hat, alive. Anyway.
Listen, don't get me in trouble,
Yeah. No, man, you won't. We're good.
But yes, please download Coda Network. It's on Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV. You can download it on your mobile phones. It's free, and you can watch the content for free, except Rebel Salute. And just so you guys know that we don't publicize it, but a portion of our proceeds do go to a charity here in Kingston, Jamaica. So, these are things that we do for the community, and we spread the love.
There you go. I love that. So people, there are 731 persons I'm seeing on YouTube. Take the opportunity now to download Coda and do that experience. Why is somebody talking about nationwide and $1.2 billion in taxes that's not paid? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
Okay, but anyway, nationwide. He's on your side. Let's talk about the hair thing. What's your take on it?
On hair? I think that hair is expression. I think that schools should not have a say in a child's hair. They should not touch a child's hair except their parents. My son and myself, we had locks. I used to have locks when I was 19 to 27. My son was born a Rasta. He had locks. Plenty of people told me to cut his hair, but we never trim. I allowed him to trim on his own. And I don't think school is like church and state. You should not be dictating how a child wears their hair unless it's like kind of crazy and just distracting. Yes, but I mean, if a child wants to wear locks, or a girl wants to wear banty twist, or she wants to wear a lace front, that's none of your business. As long as this child is performing in their school, that has nothing to do with school. It really doesn't.
All right, California, ironically,
Yeah.
Before Queen Ifrica fire burned the place, and then the whole of California burned down. I love Queen Ifrica, you know that.
I love her
She
too.
she's a
She's
maroon,
pro-fem.
and she loved the people.
Yeah.
She's just a lioness. She's on the prowl. But yeah, California actually passed legislation protecting Afro identity,
Yes.
protecting African hair, protecting
Yes.
dreadlocks, cornrows,
Yeah.
afros,
Absolutely.
9 ether hair. What do you say about um the current state of schools in Jamaica, especially the ones who are schools who are actually not doing well, carrying out this abuse on children? What is your thought?
I think that shouldn't be the focus or the priority.
Mhm.
The hair has nothing to do with learning. I think the priority should be on, whatever, bringing more money into the schools, food programs, STEM programs, bringing in, certain wellness programs, beauty programs. There's a whole list of things to be worried about, but not somebody's hair. Your
Mhm.
hair has nothing to do with learning, and that's my take on it.
I-
Without getting too political.
I love that. I think going into, if we're borrowing things from America, which we often do, we should borrow their hair policy. But I must say this: I think that I don't think the government of Jamaica is on the side of the schools where it is. Traditional schools, a lot of them are connected to churches and are connected in different ways. So the building and the spaces is what's at odds with what's happening versus so what's happening in the schools versus what's happening in Jamaica. But as I said, the courts in Jamaica have settled that in terms of hairstyle, in terms of grooming, and I think a lot of times it's just to educate the people that cleanliness is godliness. So grooming includes brushing your teeth, it includes coming on time, it includes pressing your clothes, being, showing up properly.
Yes.
But if you're gonna wear your hair, you should comb it. You should wash it. You should care it. You should groom it. The same things. Your fingernails, your skin. Lotion your skin when you have skin. If your skin is dark, don't bleach it. All of these things are part of
I think it's just
grooming.
proper etiquette and grooming. That should be mandated. Proper grooming and etiquette, but self etiquette. But as far as cutting somebody's hair and having it as a crew cut versus locks pulled back. I mean, if you have locks, I mean, okay, if they want to have proper grooming, okay, pull your locks back if that's a thing. But to tell somebody they can't have locks or they can't have cornrow, I don't think that's appropriate.
So what about afro?
Why not an afro? Why can't I have an afro? I mean, an afro is part of my identity. It's part of my natural hair. If a white person or a person that has, probably texture, straight texture like mine or curly, it wouldn't be an issue. So why is it an issue with textured hair?
Okay, loving that. Somebody said the JLP government shows in so many ways that their objective is to destroy that 92% Jamaican. It's actually 96.1% of Jamaica. But anyway, I'm juxtaposing, and you don't have to comment on this because, as I say, business and companies have legal, personal, legal identity, their own impersonal identity as an entity and a TRN number. But do you think that the grooming policies can prevent crime and corruption?
No, crime and corruption comes from a person's character, not their hair.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love that. And that takes us literally to the top of the hour. Mega, look, I'm literally saying, no, we're at the top of the hour, and Megawatt is like, It's the top of the hour, first hour. My brother has in wrap this up. Rude.
What's this nationwide stuff?
Oh, it's a local station, and
Oh, I thought it was.
That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
So we are back. Just before Lexi leaves us, yeah, I know you're from America, and I know there's this big insurance company called Nationwide.
And I thought it was nationwide.
Yeah, that's why I always do it. I say Nationwide is on your side, and if you're black, you'd be like Nationwide is on your side.
There's two. If you're black and if you're non-black,
right?
Yeah.
And so that's what insurance policy looks like. So the Nationwide is the local. It's a local station. And yeah, it's a new station.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I know you wouldn't know it.
Yeah. Do they want to be on Coda?
Probably they would probably. But wait till they pay their taxes. All right.
I'm the collector here. Collecting content.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's a good station. It's it's radio, and yeah, they on the ball, man.
Check them out.
But let me tell you what I love about it. Look. Somebody mad. We're talking about Nationwide, and they come on and they say ice crack.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
The girls are out.
The queen bees.
Yeah, the queen bees are out.
The barbs.
But we're not blocking anybody. But anyway, so thank you for joining us. But you were saying that you can't be hired in some places with a certain hairstyle.
So
tell me about that.
All right. So my experience working in corporate America is Black women, when they come in for interviews, if it's a predominantly white company, they frown on Black women with braids and funky hairstyles because it doesn't align with the board companies or the corporate governance of what corporate should look like, clean cut, sophisticated. So I personally have seen Black women and Black men turn down their interviews, their resumes thrown in the garbage because of their hair. And and they're just as qualified as a white person. They're just as qualified as an Indian person. And forget the race. It can be, just anybody of ethnicity except the hair. The hair becomes a thing. And also the hair is a thing in America because the hair comes with a certain stereotype. Oh, well, she looks pro-Black. She looks like she's going to have a lot of attitude. Oh, he got dreadlocks. Oh, he smokes a lot of weed. We don't even want to deal with that person. So in America, it's very biased. They may say scream Me Too and culture this and culture that, but deep down in deep corporate America, there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of classism. It's still there and it thrives.
All right, but let's translate that into Jamaica. I'm sure there are companies that won't hire, but that's a company though, and whether it be private, whatever it is, they'll have the right to decide what the image of the company looks like, what they want. So, but if you juxtapose that with a grooming policy or schools are saying, I want you to cut your hair now so you can get a job when you get out. that could never be envisioned or demonstrably justifiable. But I don't disagree that people are free to reject my dreadlocks and hate it. After all, we live in a country where the Jamaica Labour Party carried out the Coral Gardens massacre against Rastafarians.
Mm.
We under their government, dreadlocks, a young lady, her hair was cut off by a police officer in the police station, and they said it didn't happen, and they defended it vigorously. And
That's a violation of human rights.
it is, as well as a school sent home a child whose both parents had dreadlocks under the government. So we know that there are spaces and pockets that don't appreciate the culture. I mean, even now, let alone Rastafarian, we see a complete rejection of the current government of the Maroons.
That's so, it's just so crazy to me.
And then they try to segregate, to be like, we recognize these Maroons, that Maroons, but not those Maroons, and they don't preach unity.
Right.
So that's in your own country where you're good enough to go on a stage and make noise, but you're not good enough to walk among the elites of the country. So we'll give you awards and we'll assist you with your show, and we're happy that you bring in the IE Vibes Cartel. He puts on the biggest show, Save the Economy, at the end of the year. They had a problem with him being on the stage at the People's National Party. But it's okay selectively for their members of parliament to be, bench and batty with him. But selectively. Places in the Caribbean had issue with him, whatever. The dancehall is the crux in terms of what they don't want it mixed with carnival. Don't mix the dancehall with carnival. And a lot of things can be controversial. So in spaces, there are different spaces that are created, and persons have form their opinion on the spaces. Good. So that is of critical importance. But on the other end of it, I suppose, ironically, how the media projects it, because they were saying that the young child, that's the cause of us having this hairstyle issue. They're saying he's a gangster, he's this, he's that. He doesn't even have a criminal record. And how he's behaving on TikTok. So the media goes and do the research and it puts out bad information on a child.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And selectively now you have the Auditor General who comes out and says, hey, the Ministry of Health needs to account for this amount of billions of dollars. The Ministry of Labor has to account for overpaying this amount of billions of dollars. And then the government goes and says, we do not borrow, but they do issue the bonds to borrow money so that they can subsidize the budget. Then they have long interviews with, I think, a young man was the caretaker of some seat. I don't really have all the facts. And he was removed and another person placed, and they went into a lot of, like sand through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives. And media mix up like some real skettle, professionals, and they carry they carry the filth.
Yeah.
And they use and capitalize on the misfortunes of others to sell. Back in the days, remember when they had the Inquirer?
The Inquirer.
The Inquirer.
Star. It's like the Inquirer.
Yeah. One of
Star.
Oh my.
America had that.
Yeah, that's the one when they had all that gossip.
Somebody asked a question. What's good here? It really all depends.
See tier. See tier, 9F here. Good here.
If you want to go back to colonialism and slavery, good here was, straight white European here. That was good here. But today, what is good hair? Good hair is all kinds of textures to me. There is no label for good hair. To say you have good hair is, I think that's a terrible statement to say, and I think that statement should be eradicated. We shouldn't have a statement that says that's good hair.
Well, good hair is hair on your head that now drop out.
That is it.
And health is wealth. So
Yes.
if you are over 40 and you still have your hair, that's good hair. But then somebody gonna say, yeah, but your forehead big because the whole of your hairline are receded and pitchy pitchy. Maybe my hair no good. What can I say? But I mean, good hair is relative.
Mhm.
Just like grooming is relative. What we can't do is get involved with the distractions. And I can say here, context matters. So don't come in the comments and try to get a 2 second clip to take things out of context, because ain't nobody have $500 to give people who looking money. All right, we don't have that in 2025 to give nobody for taking things out of context. What we can say is this: if I'm to put things in context, here has no effect on corruption. We are not to find fillers to not address corruption in the instant. We should reject the Minister of Justice, the King's Counsel Delroy Chuck, when he gets up and says that he urges his other he's urging his fellow parliamentarians to not tell the Integrity Commission about their spouse's salary. And mind you, he's making reference to his side of government, because the opposition, their statutory declarations are in, and they are not running afoul or under the level of investigation like others. But it's just important to make the connection between majoring in the minor and raising our kids to avoid the type of hiccups that is there in spaces, in a country where rehabilitation is non-existent in the prisons. There are little pockets of pilot programs on what rehabilitation is supposed to look like, but that's a reality. It's non-existent. And then you have the early criminalization of young people, and what I deem to be child abuse that has to be a serious issue to think about. Walking in divine purpose, says Lexi.
Yes.
Healthy hair. I said good hair for those who don't understand. A lot of people think being mixed or relaxed hair is quality.
Right.
Hope that makes sense. Healthy hair.
Yeah, absolutely, it makes sense, and I completely understood what you meant the first time. So thank you for that. And I think that it becomes a issue. Even when I was growing up, you have the older elders. Make sure you're there with a man with good hair, and I'm like, what is good hair? What does that mean? So that was ingrained in us as kids. Like make sure you're there with a man or a girl. Our cousins were always installed. Make sure you get somebody with good hair. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Yes, I got a
What does that mean?
pretty baby.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty baby. Good hair. So what I will say, and persons are saying, say Fabian Bryan says, cut your hair for school if you're not a Rasta. So you can tell from that comment that if you see Fabian Bryan, the whole of the middle of him head pitch out and chip out.
Do you know him personally?
No.
Oh.
That's why you put things in context.
Oh.
When you go on, it's kind of like what happens on X, or they're formerly known as Twitter. The people who project negativity are usually, their lives are on the low side.
Oh, okay, now I understand.
Yeah, but let's not. We can have a whole show on Coda.
Please buy the pay-per-view.
So
I need your money.
Also check First Class Image. Marlon Samuels have ear implants for you. So you don't have to bad mind nobody for the hair, Fabian. But it's all in love. We're putting it in context. But I need to stop. Yeah, so that's basically it. So I want to thank you definitely for joining us, and
Yes.
as I continue with the show to put things in context in terms of the current issues, that's what I'm going to do. So thank you for joining.
And thank
and
you so much.
yeah,
Bye,
man.
guys. It's been a pleasure. Download Coda.
Download Coda 752. Download Coda.
It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
Yeah, all right. So people, yeah, I see when they did love Lexi. That just show me said the whole lot and tired of me, but it's fine. It's fine. It's still my show. It's my show, guys. You can't get me off my own show. You know what I mean? You guys need to do better. Ugh. Yeah. No, no, ain't no duppy here. Ain't no duppy here. Yeah. So basically, Walking Dead said the hair thing needs to be addressed. I don't know who addressing it, but what I will say is that I know for sure. Yeah, I know for sure that when it comes to um, oh, I must drop the link for Coda. It's just Coda Network. You know, if you Google it, you'll see the app. I don't know if you have an iPhone or if you have an Android, but it's different links to be able to download it. Just Coda, CODA. I can't wait for you touchdown in New York. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll talk about fundraisers and all of that in no time. Don't watch no face. But shh, mum's the word when it comes to that. Yeah, so many things happening. As I said, it's an election year, and naturally, with an election year, what we are faced with, the reality of what we are faced with is a lot of we are at an impasse, and corruption is reigning heavily. We've had a lot of media media pacifying or persons trying to use the PR to change things. For instance, how do you say Jamaica has not borrowed money to undertake anything in since this government hasn't done that, but they've borrowed so many times. That is a lie. Um, how do you say, hey, money isn't missing, or you can't say it's unaccounted for, we just haven't sent in the accounts in the last 11 years. Pressure is on from the auditor general for the various ministries. Look what's happening in the parish councils, and we're talking about government, we're talking about governance. um the and when you think about fairness, when you think about how the people of Jamaica is being disenfranchised, I'm gonna raise alarm about what I find to be a deficiency in the education system. I myself have started a tablet drive. I'm not going to promote it now, but to share with you in context that um, the idea is to put 3,000 tablets in the schools in Portland. Portland Eastern is a constituency. The parish of Portland consists of East and West. So when the Ministry of Education announces that they are going to give out 15,000 tablets, smart boards, and laptops to the education system across Jamaica, the question to be asked is, yeah, but how much is Portland Eastern going to get? And who is going to get it? Because the idea that we are supposed to be ensuring that all children have a tablet because learning has gone digital. The dissemination of information is in the digital world. the modern child understands, communicates, and participates um, with the lab, with the technology. So as I started my drive, proud to say that I've hit 300 and 300 plus over the last weekend in terms of giving it out. I've identified a school that tomorrow I am going to do what I now call the tablet pop up. And I'm going to go to a school in Portland Eastern, and I'm going to surprise every child in that school with a tablet. So when they go home, they'll be telling their parents, I got a tablet today from school. I don't care if the child is from a labor right home or a PNP home. I want the child to be educated so the child is not dunce like the generation above them. So the child has the ability and the capacity to learn and get education so that the child can respond sufficiently to abuse when it's meted out against them, so that the child is able to keep up in the digital world. So I'm here to bridge the digital divide, and it cannot be done with the way how education is being run in Jamaica. So respectfully, I'm going to say that I know the People's National Party will form the next government. I will by the time the election is called, complete my 3,000 tablets, because the diaspora is doing its thing. Shout out to Will Rattigan, Wayne Lonesome, Andre Stevens, Make We Talk, that's Jeffrey Tavares, Carlos, um, Wayne in England. Yeah, all the people them that nationwide suing. Big up all of them, because when they connect to the diaspora, and the diaspora is backing me. Like, I mean, making sure say me not flop with this tablet drive and the dropping tablets. You see, Christopher Campbell was gonna invest in Coda. Christopher Campbell just dropped 20 tablets just like that, just drop it like that. So to ensure that next week I can pop up at another school and drop another 100 tablets on them, and ensuring that while the school year is going on, that the children are equipped with the tools that they need. So when Damian Crawford becomes the education minister, um, somebody asked me how much cartel drop. Street vibes, straight vibes. We drop tablets, not rum. So when we think of what it is that we are ensuring that our kids are educated, we have to want the best for all the children. It's not a selective thing. We know that it's a dog eat dog world, and we know that people think that money is what make them relevant. But we want the children to be wanted across the world. So it's going to be ironic, but you see, when me finish with Portland Eastern, when people walk up to the embassies, they won't have the deficiencies, and they won't have to pretend to be things they are not, because they will be educated and they will be qualified to go all over the world as they wish. So that's my mission right now. So kudos to Ministry of Education for if I'm correct, probably 5 tablets will end up in some schools, because it won't be more than that. Well, I'm going to drop a minimum of 50 tablets to one school to ensure that this school with all those children will be a fully digitized school. Teachers and students will all have laptops, and they will have the internet to back it. That's as much as I'm going to say about that. But my mission is to ensure that there will be no excuses. One would think that after COVID, we would not be having um, conversations about children needing tablets. So again, appreciate the diaspora for coming on board with my tablet drive. Honeybee, respect for donating these tablets directly. With the tablet drive, the company Geotech has matched. Hey, if you buy one tablet, it's two, and the average donor buys five. Um, and just like that, if you buy five, it's 10. And it's strength in numbers. We are achieving our targets a lot faster than I'm anticipated. And I shout out to the opposition candidates who have also donated tablets. Dr. Horton, who did so first. I'm singling you out because, as an economist, you saw the value in the mission that I'm doing, and I know you're watching closely to see the impact it will have. But I can tell you, when a child puts down the toy gun and takes up a tablet, or puts down the the cardboard and take up a tablet and finds himself playing with technology and navigating the space and doesn't have to take away the parent's cell phone, it is a joy. So yeah, and in all that, I'm just saying that if we constantly think about improving our children, and if we constantly think about maximizing the education system, it is the vehicle to which we'll fight crime. It is the will be the vehicle to which we won't have to worry about corruption, because people will be competent enough to know that they're not going to put in power people who are corrupt. Corruption is an absolute no-no. It has nothing to do with party loyalty and nothing like that. And I can tell you this: you can use ad hominem, and you can do all of the nonsense that I saw happen this week, and the name dropping and the innuendos. What you can't do, is, and I'm just responding. You can't mix up my name. You will never get the opportunity to mix up my name, because unlike the people you like, I am an educated man with a profession, with the highest level of competence unmatched by the people you like, by the people on your side. Do that and beat me. So what we want is, let me adopt what the Prime Minister say, you get what you pay for. So we want competent people with integrity, oftentimes a practicing certificate of good character that shows that you have integrity at a minimum, with an organization that regulates, that have more teeth than the Integrity Commission, so that at some point, it is unfortunate that the Minister of Justice would take the position that he takes as the Minister of Justice. It's unfortunate, because corruption is the very thing that is eating the progress of Jamaica like a sword. Because if you can't account for $3 trillion, but you turn around and borrowing $4 billion, you are stealing and failing to account while borrowing more money. So you put in Jamaica's future at a great, 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 great disadvantage. And so no wonder you want to keep the people dunce. No wonder why you want the children to work at call centers and go get a certification from heart, because you don't want doctors and lawyers. You don't want engineers and computer technicians, and you don't want persons with political science and masters and doctorates. You don't want that. Because if you want that, education would be free. We would go back to the days of Michael Manley, where education was free. And so people who were poor, as long as you were bright, you were going to get there. We need to get back there. And so the starting place is to ensure that the children can read. And so what are you doing in grade 7, 8, 9, and graduating from high school, and you can't read? You can't recognize your name Panabula. And Bulla tastes so good. Ginger Bulla nice too. So Dandre Robb says, and how will the kids be monitored on those tablets? That's the thing. You have tablet day in the schools to teach parents how to, yeah, ginger, how to put parental control on the tablets. But if Dandre is saying, let's not give them tablets because they're not going to be able to be monitored, sad state of affairs for you, because there are apps now on phones and on the tablets themselves that allows parents to monitor the tablets. You can attach right now the tablets that I'm giving out. You can add the app to your phone and look what the contents, what they are, and you can simply stay from the comfort of your bedroom. And just like how Instagram have the do not disturb, you can just shut off the tablet. So whether they're playing games on YouTube, whatever it is, you can look from your phone, and the app is available for that. So ginger. That is of great importance. Somebody said shit. Somebody says what? Anyway, let me ignore it. My moderators not dismissing the unwelcome visitors. So yeah, that is definitely what it is. So we definitely have to take that on and be relentless and continue to press on where that is concerned. Yeah, man, I'm definitely ignoring it. But the real thing about it is, as we are on Reggae Global Radio, Coda Network, um, um, I'm being schooled about heart. I'm going to have to invite somebody from heart to talk about TVET and all of these things because I'm misguided. But to put in context, when I make my remark about heart and the certification, is this: we cannot have the children waste their time in high school and then send them for certifications through hard, which some of them can go all the way up to bachelor's degree. But I'm simply saying we want our children to have traditional professions. And it's difficult sometimes to have conversations with persons who know currently exist and don't have traditional professions. And then they're the same ones who said, you hype because you're behaving like, because you're a lawyer, you think you're better than people. That's not the conversation. In a perfect world, if it's up to me, everybody would be a lawyer before they're anything else. Because then we wouldn't have the nonsense that we see in Parliament currently. Yeah. So what is, and that's also another thing, is that we need to, if I'm wrong, I'm always, that's why this show is called Context Matters. We need to have people to always put things in its proper context, educate, and if things have changed, we need to make that clear. But even so, even if Heart is having programs, they should be inviting people to come and learn and giving them tablets. And I'm saying we need to bridge the digital divide by ensuring that we turn all our classrooms digital, all our students digital, all our coursework and all of that digital. And we should always prepare. So, like, it rains a lot in Portland. The roads are bad in Portland. Principals should be able to send out a simple WhatsApp message to say, parents, the sky look really dark. Students are home. Please go to the relevant Zoom link and go into the proper class. And it's already prepared on a platform that the government pays for. And you log into Zoom and you're in your classroom. So that would save a lot of human resource and time on days when young children would have to traverse the excellent landscape, the dangerous landscape, the excellent conditions for disaster in some areas. And that's just how I'm seeing. That's how I see it, and that's what I would hope that persons would have a thought when they think about it. And I see Keisha is saying that I guess she's saying Hart is an excellent institution. Um, I guess. But as I said, I'm not singling out because I had grouped a lot of other things in terms of comparing Hart to Norman Manley Law School is most unfortunate. There's actually no comparison, or to the med school, or the business school, Mona Business, or UTEX architectural degree or anything like that. So I was getting there in terms of what one looks at. Heart do that. I said I'm a teacher and true product of Heart. And Nadette Graham, I'm happy to hear that. And that's those are the conversations that I want to have, because it sets us in a space where recognizing that Heart is um and you can correct me, I want to say it's a second opportunity institution. When I was young, there was high school, and then if you fail all your subject, you went to West Avenue, like a second chance. It's like Maths Unlimited. But whatever it is, I'm talking about living in a technological society and having the tools. So just like how remember, just like how we have persons who don't brush their teeth because they don't have toothbrush and they don't have toothpaste. In some areas, people have to go buy a $10 squeeze to brush them teeth, and sometimes they don't have the $10. Uh, these are just so Julian says it's a trade school for electrical, plumbing, and so on. But yeah, I don't get me wrong, all of these professions are needed and all of these things are necessary. I'm just simply saying that we these are must be options that people want. In America you can get a degree to be a garbage man, a trash collector, and it's a blue collar profession, and it pays a lot. It take in fact, when you say a garbage man on a truck in America, he possibly has his degree, and he has his certification in trash collection and recycling. You'd be surprised. So once again, we always talk about taking things from foreign because we love foreign. Um, yeah, it wasn't doing it. Hey, guys, see, I told you Lexi was gonna tell me to flip the screen. Oh, it happened this time. It wasn't working earlier, but see, do it now. Yay. Anyway, so that's my thought. But I'm trying to read the comments to pretty much get an idea. But like I said, this week was a very interesting week. All week. I want to say from last week. And the effort that media made to tarnish the reputation of the leader of opposition. A pity. All washed away and escaping nearby bushes at the presentation of the candidate for Central Kingston. Candidate presentation. Life is funny. Somebody said a degree in environmental science. Yeah, see it, Kesu. Oh, I always thought my plans. So one of the things, I had mass training in listening to the empty heads and the empty barrels on the internet when you're actually doing the work and they have no knowledge of the 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 landscape, the inner workings of what you are doing, especially when you are the person doing it, and people watching and have a theory as to whether or not you're competent enough to do it, whether you will be successful in doing it, all of these things. And like always, the end result is just magical, especially when you anchor your expectations on God. What I will do though is to say to people that we ought to also educate ourselves. For those of you with the hype phones, learn how to use them so that you would know that if you have a tablet, you can download an app that monitors the activities on the tablet, just like you have the Mac and the iPhone and the iPad and the Apple Watch and the Apple headphones and the Apple Siri, the earpods, iPods, all of these things. Um, and you can have everything monitored and with voice recognition as well. And Ronald, I don't know how that come into it, but yeah. And then you realize that we have to, as citizens, police the government, take charge of your country because the country belongs to you. For those in for young people and small business owners in Portland that is currently being disenfranchised in Prospect at beachfront. We are looking into that, and you were warned about making sure where you put your X, because there are those who are trying to disenfranchise you and scrape for themselves, while at the same time depriving you of the beauty of the place that you live. You have to have the necessary educate yourself in knowing what your rights are, and have the conversations and ask the questions where necessary, so that you are not left out in the cold at the end of the day. um I don't know who Paul Wallace is, so I wouldn't be able to check on Paul Wallace. Andrea Burke. um Christopher Campbell, I said, turn you into a hawk and peddler for tablets. Me too. Well, Christopher Campbell raising the tablets, that's how that's what it is. And I'm telling you, that's what the diaspora is. And I always tell people that it's never just about you. And so we all have superpowers, and we know what the mission is. We know what we were deprived of when we were going to school. We know the things that people need to ensure that they were successful and excellent. Let me tell you something. When I in law school, I have iPad, Mac, I have the Mac computer, the MacBook, I have iPod, I have the AirPod, I have the Air Max, I have everything. And me no short of nothing. I have Google, I have e-law resources, I have everything to my fingertips. I had technology that could help me so well. Veronica said internet in Jamaica needs to be upgraded, because especially in rural areas, when rainfall there is no reception. But there's Starlink. And you're right, when rain falls, Starlink not gonna work. But then after the rain, the sun gonna shine, and Digicel has its fiber optics, especially in the Portland area, as well as Flow. And so you would be surprised that all you have to do is do make proper checks. But in the schools, getting internet in the schools, getting internet in the general areas after. But you know what? They always say, what come first, the chicken or the egg? And I can tell you, um, the whether you say, oh, they have to have the tablets, that's what the Ministry of Education said, that they need to have the infrastructure and the internet, because just giving tablets, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting verbatim, it's kind of like pointless if the internet is not there. But I will say this: what if the internet is there and then there are no tablets? We would be in the same position. So we have to start somewhere. My idea is the introduction of the tablets, and yes, the tablets are going to be mashed up. But if everybody have a tablet, it's so much easier to replace 10 than trying to give away 20,000. It's so much to replace 5 and 6 and 7 at a time. But we are to treat the tablets like we do the toothbrush and the toothpaste, like we do soap, like we do like how we have to eat. Some of us a lot more than others, but the things that are necessary. Kimon asked me if it's only tablet I'm doing in relation to what though. Somebody say this commercial is brought to you by. So I see the and no, there is Alessandra had donated a laptop to a young lady in Portland Eastern. There are persons who have requested laptops, but I'm saying the tablet drive. Will Rattigan had identified tablets that came with the keyboard and the mouse and the pen, and it works just like a laptop. But for me, like I said, introduction to the tablet is to have your first tablet. Once you start there, it changes the dynamics. It's like it's not everybody. It's like buying a car. Not everybody go jump in a one Benz and jump in the hype car. You can buy a Betsy, and Betsy shocks are gonna give you whiplash, and then you upgrade. You have to own a car to know that you can own a car. You have to own land to know that you can be a landowner. It don't have to be 50, 100 acres. It can be a little spot. And then you build something, and when you complete that, your vision box will open up and your ambitions will grow. So yes, Ronnie Nicholson, you have to start somewhere, and that is what I am advocating for. That people appreciate and understand that you have to start somewhere, and that's what I'm doing. Um, Megawatt said it was Daisy Magazine and Will Rattigan who talk about tablets with mouse and keyboard. There you go. It's the same thing. Will Rattigan, Daisy as well. Daisy gave me a lot of tablets. I'm just referring to the platform upon which these things come. So kudos. I'm not taking away credit from anybody. I'm just simply saying that those things came about. So Megawatt, you are right. And shout out to Daisy. But yeah, we issue all of those things, and I have been saying a lot about that, and I think that I'm done with that. If there are there any questions for me, and big up ever snack, we can probably partner. You can send some tablets to me, and we can furnish a whole school. If you're minded to do so, let me know what you think about that. Just inbox me. And all the persons, respect to you. Um, oh, it's your sister, but yeah, you're correct, man. It was her who identified them, and I'm thanking, like Ishmael said, to everyone who donated to the tablet drive. But tomorrow, you're gonna see it, man. We're doing it big. You know, like the way I do it extra large. When I use a kid, I used to go to them down. I would never order small. I do it big. Doing it big tomorrow. Um, what do you mean? When will I move to Portland? I live in Portland. What are you talking about, Derek Lewis? You trying to get informations for your friends? I don't understand that. What do you mean? When will I? Why are you trying to put out false information? Look how long I live in Portland. These people. Anyway, yeah. So let me see what? What? Yeah, we ain't gonna tell them. We know the evil that is out there. Yeah, it's a big deal. And no, that's it. They like to restart, and they like to find things to nitpick about. But what we are doing is focusing on progress. And you'll hear about it tomorrow. I'm so excited about tomorrow. I'd go sleep now so tomorrow can come. Right? Kim would say, we need water, sir. You tell your MP have a water truck and you're telling me you need water. I can turn it on when I become the MP because it's locked, them lock it off. So anytime I hear that we need water, you never know you needed water, and that water was there before there was a mass voting out of the People's National Party. And I'm there too. And when the water lock off, you want to see me, I go buy my tank and make sure say the tank full up. I'm not buying no water from the MP because of a Portland water. You lock off the water and I full up your truck them. What could go so? Really? Superman coming out July 2025. Yeah. So for those of you who are on Reggae Global Radio, I want to say thank you so much for um, tuning in. Reggae Global is the flagship station for Context Matters, and it has been a pleasure for doing this show for more than a year now, and just being able to share with everyone and putting into context the issues that are ripe in the Jamaican space. One of the things that I wanted to share with you guys before I go is this thing about the fire. So there was fire in California, and it was a mass fire, and I think it happens every year. So it out in my mind, it was like just fire, and dealt with it just nonchalant, like how we deal with murders in Jamaica. But then I stopped and I started to think, and I was like, every time there's a fire like that, the forest is attacked, so wildlife suffers, birds, cats, dogs, mountain cats, owls, squirrels, everything, and people. And people are disenfranchised, and then insurance companies, because this happened every year, refuse to pay. And I said, but this is heart wrenching and very disappointing. Thank you for the 50K mark. Big up on yourself. Appreciate you guys. And then something happened in Jamaica. A young girl dies in the fire at Whitehall Avenue or thereabout, somewhere in St. Andrew. And then three children die not long after by fire. So I said to myself, what is, oh, look, fire is on here at 6:51 and saying bless, literally. And I said, what is the message that's being sent about fire? Um, what attention is being brought to us for the world at large to look at, and what disaster looks like, because the flood was last year. Many persons were flooded out before that, the hurricane, and now it's fire. We're so susceptible to natural disasters and things that are beyond our control. It makes me wonder what it is that we're fighting for, that we're murdering each other and killing each other and seeking death penalty and being so cruel and unkind to each other. But um, I just think that we ought to stop and do a gratitude check. Um, and while we do that check, we are to recognize that Doreen Wright keeps saying only Portland. I don't know what that means. You have to put that in context, please. Um, and and just have a thought as to what it is we ought to be doing differently that we are doing now. Do not be deceived, do not be tricked. We are at an impasse. We must return Jamaica to a semblance of normalcy that includes the least among us. That's to um, seek a better life and have an introduction to humanity. And yes, hurt people, which is true, which is I'm wondering why, after so many years of benefit, that politicians continue to hurt people. But that's another thing. And I will share some more with you guys, the realities as I navigate the space of being a candidate. You saw the young lady that just says, we want water. The cry is that for years, nothing has changed and nothing has been done. How to service the needs of the people is paramount. Answering the individual needs as well as the social needs and the societal needs of the constituency is something to consider, especially in the reality that it has not been done, and there are no plans by the current government to do it. in a real way. And as government, which is why the people can't differentiate. They think if you're the candidate, you should do equally what it is that the member of parliament is doing, because they have not been educated to understand and to learn that when you're ignored by the member of parliament and who fails to do the work, that you're being disenfranchised, and that the person who is said to replace that person by virtue of the election can only do within their capacity as an individual. And so, no, I can only say to people is that we are not for sale. And I can always continue to thank the diaspora because we have done so much for the people of Portland in such a short time. Um, and we know that there's a serious gap that has to be filled in terms of ensuring that the people are able to have a better life. And I'm going to extend it to the people across Jamaica. I have to extend it to the people across Jamaica because we are experiencing suffrage. We're experiencing an economy that has shrunken, and whether they say it's not, that the majority of the people aren't able to participate in anything where this is concerned. No matter what happens and no matter how much press conferences you call, I saw for myself a justification for the importation of ice when there are other places in Jamaica that make ice. And the kickbacks of 30% from the CET that justifies the importation of ice. But if there are ice factories in Jamaica, and Jamaica is one Jamaica, and the one in Kingston burns down, then why not get the ice from the one in Mandeville and Clarendon and Westmoreland? And the government facilitates that to meet the market so that the people in Jamaica, their businesses can strive rather than protecting the interests of your friends. And in the interim, you subsidize from outside. Yes, yes, rocks real estate. The fires are devastating and just fire on a whole, loss of life, loss of property, restarting, and fire represents the phoenix. It's the rebirth, the beginning. So it's destruction for reinvention, however you look at it. But these are some of the things that we need to look at. And I just have to say, anything that supports, we have to look who the movers and the shakers are and how the people benefit from anything that's being done. And I will leave it on that note to say that I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. I hope for those of you who have never experienced Rebel Salute and is not gonna go to the actual live show, that you download Coda and you are able to watch the the Rebel Salute. I think it's for $24 or 20 something US dollars to see the live stream. Um, and the quality of the streaming, it's important so that you can feel like you are there at every moment, and everything is in the angles, right? So yeah, that would be Context Matters for January 16th, 2025. And yeah, it's good to be alive. So final thought. What? Well, boy, the comments are so festive. Um, yeah. So, my people on Reggae Global Radio, stay tuned for the next programming. You will definitely be entertained non-stop. That's what Reggae Global Radio does. And yeah, next week, Context Matters, I will actually be having the Joan Gordon Webley. I hope I'm saying it right. Uh, Um, but it's so much to learn from persons who have been in the space, the political space, and policy making, that I'm looking forward to that conversation next week, because I can tell you something. Integrity, while it cannot be taught, it can be emulated and it has to be respected. Persons must find their internal locus of control and ensure that they don't fall victim to selling their soul and becoming a crook when they started off so good. All right, so that's Context Matters. See you guys. Blessings.
It took some time to understand, yeah, 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 just what it takes to be a man. Now it seems each day you learn something to make a better way. Growing up ain't just a phase, it's reality. And sometimes it's hard to face the world with your head screwed on. But in time you will see, it comes naturally, like the hurt and the pain. It's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. But if you need a helping hand, just call on me, I will be your friend. And when it gets hard to face the world with your head screwed on, just tell yourself you can. And that's when you'll understand that the hurt and the pain, it's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep you stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You gotta keep on moving on. Don't let no one stand in your way. Gotta keep on pressing on. As we pray for better days, keep it moving, moving to the next. When they try to bring you down, we gotta take it to the next level when they come around. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. Just keep your head up, yeah. Just keep your head up, yeah. Gotta keep your head up, yeah. Cause everything's gonna be alright. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Cause everything's gonna be alright. Cause everything's gonna be alright.